من العذراء مريم بتفرحنا دايما في صيامها، ناخد بركتها دايما. خلاص احنا بكرة عشية العيد، كل سنة طيبين، واحنا جايين عشان نفرح وعشان نسمع كلمة ربنا. النهاردة ربنا هيتكلم على لسان أخونا الدكتور سامي، ربنا يعطيه كلمة عن افتتاح الفم.
كل سنة وانتم طيبين. Actually, I select this topic and I try to do it in English because I want to transfer it to our kids. I know there is no problem in understanding the language for you, but for our kids in giving this service in Arabic maybe would be a little bit difficult. So I picked this topic, which is St. Mary, the paradise of the service, because we are all need to hear that. We need to understand what God wants from us. At the end of our days and life, we want to go to the heaven, right? Anybody want to go anywhere else? Do you think anybody of us want to go anywhere else? No, right? So we want to go to the heaven. So God put all the tips how to pass this exam. In any course, the professor or the teacher give the tips that may, at the end of the course, tips that the student have to follow to pass the exams. So God give us the tips. And St. Mary was actually one of these tips. At the start, I put some questions at the start. Why should I serve? No, before this, there is another, why should I serve? And what are the stages of ministry in St. Mary's life? The third question, what are the characters of St. Mary's ministry? And what are the blessings we enjoyed in this paradise? These are the four important topics we would like to talk about it. Now, why should I serve? If you look to the start from the beginning, God created the entire universe for the ministry of God. So, the whole universe, the animals, the plants, everything, in order each part, actually, each one served the other. So the service was the main aim of the creation. Not only that, when he created man, he gave him a lot of talents. He granted him a lot of talents. Why? In order to serve himself, to serve others, and to serve God. So the aim of the creation of the whole life, of the whole world, that we should serve. This is the first concept in God. We have to understand that, because without it, we don't understand. Without it, we live and we go and nothing can happen. When God came to the world, he came as a servant to the cross. That's the most important thing. So God himself, when he wants to take our body and become a man like us, he came as a servant to give us a role. He didn't come as a king. And he is the King of Kings. But he didn't want that. He wants to be a servant. So that's another important thing we have to understand. He tolerates everything because he loves us. So he shows us the love and he shows us the service. He taught us a few things. If you look to John 12:24, what he said, most assuredly, unless the grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much grain. Here, another concept of the service, that we need to die. We need to be humbled in order to attract a lot of people around us. More Christians, more believers. So the way to gain our kids is to be like a grain of wheat who dies. So that's another actually teaching point God teaches us. Also in Matthew 25, he talked about the 10 virgins. You know all this proverb, this story, the 10 virgins. 5 of them are wise and 5 are not wise. And the 5 wise people, what they did, they put oil in the vessels. So what is this oil? What do you think? What is this oil? Anybody of us tell us, what does it mean by this oil? The wise virgins went to the heaven because they have oil in their vessels. Everybody had lamp. Everybody was virgin. Everybody was actually ready to go to the groom. Okay? But 5 of them actually win. Why they win? What do you think? Why? They have in their vessels oil. Saint John the Chrysostom, قديس يوحنا فم الذهب قال ايه؟ The oil represent the good deeds. The oil represent the good deeds that characterize the living face from the dead face. So now we have people people have faith. Some people have living faith, they will go to the heaven, and other people have faith but dead. So the living faith have good deeds, while the died or the dead faith have no deeds, no work. They don't serve. Okay. So let's go now to understand this. So the service or the ministry is not only dependent on the priests, the deacons, the Sunday school teacher. No. And I will give you an example. In the liturgy, Abuna comes, the father comes and gives the absolutions of the servants, Tahlil al-Khuddam. We all listen to it. Abuna said that, the hegumens, the priests, the deacons, the ministers, all the people, and my weakness. He started like that, right? So in the absolution of the service, of the servant, he includes the congregations. So what does it mean? It means that the church tells us that the people are part of the service. The congregation are part of the service. You don't come, there is nobody in the church who come as a witness or just look to that and go and leave. No, you are part of the ministers. You are part of the service. You have to work. Because if you don't work, you will not be of the wise version, like the wise virgins, and you're going to have a dead faith. And at the end, you have the lamp, you have your ticket reserved in the heaven, but unfortunately, you didn't get up early to reach to the airport, and you lose your place. We have tickets. Everybody of us have ticket in the heaven. But unfortunately, we sleep. And we miss the appointment of the flight. Imagine, somebody actually have a ticket for a flight, okay? And he sleeps the day of the traveling, and he misses the airport. What we should tell him, all of us? What do you think? If somebody missed the appointment for traveling, he slept. The ticket is there. He paid the ticket. And he missed the trip. What are you going to tell him? Tell me. Where is this? Where is this? We are doing that. We really do that because we have a ticket and we don't bother. How long the time will go for us? 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 100 years? Believe me, I have people who comes to me like 100 years old, and they still think that they are 70 or 60. Okay, still there is a time for us to live. Okay, fine. God bless you. But don't think that the time will go so fast. The time will go fast. And we lose tracking things. And finally, we got up, we missed the appointment, we have a ticket, and we lost the trip. Okay, so going to the other part now. So from that point, we learned that we are all servants. We are all ministers. We are all requested to serve. How? This is different. There are different things. We can talk about it. I'm not talking about servants who serve the Sunday school. No. In fact, if one of my dreams in the service in our church, that we have preparation for the servants, minimal things, then we direct the servant to many things. Some servant want to be involved in the maintenance of the church. Some servant want to participate in the media. Some person will serve as outreaching. Some kids are. So we end by a number of servants in different varieties, in different areas. Everybody serve, but he has a basic knowledge, and those who actually go to the Sunday school teaching or they will do more. They will study more. They will read more. But the total have a baseline, and some of them work in different way. Okay, and now next we'll go to the stages of the service in St. Mary life. I summarize it like this. There are 5 stages, 5 stations in the life of St. Mary. And we'll go from one to another. The first one was altar ministry. Serving, okay. So we all know that St. Mary actually was in the altar from the age of 3 or 4 years old till 14 years old. What she did in the altar? What do you think? What she did? Anybody volunteer to answer? What St. Mary did in the altar? Cleaning, yes. What else? You know, in the past, the altar was actually, they slaughter the ships in the altar. So the altar was a lot of blood, lot of fat, and they burn it. So bad smell. So it's not like our altar. That's a clean altar. The altar in the past, in the Old Testament, was actually full of blood fat, and it's the end products of burning the ships. Okay? She has to clean that. Very tough work for a young girl. Not only that, it's not only cleaning, but she has also. She attend all the praying. She learn the praise. Why? How did she learn the praise? How do you prove that? When the angel came and told her that you will be the mother of God, she opened her mouth, she opened her heart and repeat the same praise of Hannah in the Old Testament. She repeated all the prophets' talks about the salvations. How did she know that? She learned it. She was repeating it. So when she was told that she will be the mother of God, she opened her heart and she gave us all. She didn't talk, but that time she started talking, she started explaining what she learned it. So, what does it mean for us? The first stage in St. Mary was serving the altar. In any life of us, any life of any servant, he should start with the altar. He should start with the liturgy. We don't accept that a Sunday school teacher doesn't attend the liturgy and go straight forward to his service, and he doesn't attend the liturgy. I am a servant. No. You have to fill yourself with the praise and the blessings of the liturgy in order to give to your kids these blessings. The lesson is not just prepared subjects, topics, some videos. No, that's not that. The lesson really is something you build it in yourself. You are filled. The cup is filled and it gives actually an spell on the servants. Not the cup is empty and you try to fill kids. From where do you fill? From where? How did you get this blessing? You have to come to the altar. You have to participate in the liturgy. You have to serve the liturgy. How we can serve the liturgy as a congregation? By praying. So, in other words, the service of the liturgy is not the duty of the priest only or the deacons. No, it's a responsibility of the congregations. You serve the altar when you pray. You serve the altar when you come early and attend the liturgy and pray and raise your heart with the anaphora. When Abuna starts the anaphora, your heart goes up. أين هي قلوبكم؟ ها هي عند الرب. لما نقول ها هي عند الرب يعني ايه؟ قلبنا طالع مش نازل. Okay? So, the first item in the service is to serve the altar. تخدم القداس. خدمة القداس مهمة جدا. مش لأبونا بس، لينا احنا. الشعب مش قاعد متفرج، الشعب بيشترك في الخدمة. He participates in the service, as well as the deacons, as well as the priest. So this is very important. And without it, the rest of the ministers will not work. And we'll see. So that was the first stage of the St. Mary's life. The ministry of the altar. She attended, she participated in the praying. She cleaned the altar. But she participated in the praying and she learned. That's why she was able to continue her ministry. This is the basic foundations. You cannot build any building without good basic foundations. This is the basic foundation, the liturgy, the praying. So I don't think that's a good idea for any Sunday school teacher or anybody who comes, he said, no, I'm not attending the lecture, I will come on the service. No, at the time of the service. No, that's forbidden. You are not filled. I'm sorry, you are only giving a lesson as a teacher. You are not minister, you are not servant, you are a teacher. No, we don't want teacher. We want spiritual servant. Because the spiritual servant can attract his kids and he's gonna make them loving God. Your responsibility is to make people love God. This is very important. You have to learn them that, and you have to convey the love of God to them. How you get that without being filled? I don't think that a quarter of cup can spill on any other person. No. Now, the second stage in the ministry of St. Mary's is St. Joseph ministry. Okay, so finishing the stage, she went to another stage. See, the servant is promoting. She didn't ask that, but God prepared her for that. St. Joseph ministry. What is the St. Joseph ministry? What does it mean for us? So, St. Joseph was actually 90 years old. So he was granddad for her. She was 14 years old. And she served St. Joseph at the age of 90 years old. Very old man. Very old man. And she wants to tell us something from this. We have, as a servant, to learn that first people who are going to serve them is our family. A servant, male or female, who does not serve his household is not a servant. So you have to learn to serve our family. The first people who are going to be served is our family. My wife, my kids are very important. And a lady, her husband, her kids. One of the servants told me that I want to leave the service. I told her in one condition. If you tell me that the service had affected your performance with your family. You can't serve your family? Fine, you leave it. Because I'll tell you why. I'll take Timothy 1, chapter 5. St. Paul said something. But if anyone does not provide of his own, and especially for his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than the unbeliever. يعني شوفوا الكلمة إن كان أحد لا يعتني بخاصته ولا سيما أهل بيته فقد أنكر الإيمان وهو شر من غير المؤمن. Oh, he is worse than the unbeliever because he doesn't serve his family. Oh, so I don't think it's a good idea for a servant to do all the work in the church and leave her family without help, without service. That's not accepted. Timothy 1, remember, Timothy 1, he said, he is worse than the unbeliever. Oh my God. A servant who doesn't take care of his family, he is worse than the unbeliever? Yes. Yes. So, that's why Saint Mary show us a good example of service. After I served the altar, I learned, I made the foundations, and I went to serve my family. Now, third, Elizabeth ministry. Do you remember what happened? I think everybody know that by heart. The angel came and he preached. He told St. Mary that you will be the mother of God. You are full of grace. You are. What she said. By the way, he said, by the way, you know Elizabeth, she's old lady. she's pregnant now and she's in the 6th month. What she said? Nothing. Nobody asked her to do anything. But she was initiative. She initiated that. Oh my God. She forgot all the praise. She forgot that she is the mother of God. She forgot everything. And remember one thing. There is one person who needs me. See the servants? Initiative. Initiative. Nobody asked her to serve. But she realized from the story, she read it in another way. She read that somebody needs me. I'm going to help. How many person of us hears about any trouble for anybody and he goes to help him without talking? This is St. Mary way of service, initiative. Okay. She didn't think about herself. She didn't think that she is young, very young girl, 14 years old. She's pregnant. She's going to have a lot of issues. She has to convince the Saint Joseph that she is a virgin. She has to. There is a lot of things. She didn't think about that, and she went to one thing. Somebody needs me. This is the service. This is the initiative part of the service. You are initiative. She didn't think about the trouble of the trip. She has to travel between mountains, and she's pregnant, and I don't think that she was very strong built. She was a very probably tiny girl. Okay? But she didn't think about that. She went into a very hard trip in order to serve an old woman who needs her help. And here comes another type of service. خدمة الأقرباء، خدمة الأصدقاء، خدمة الناس اللي بنعرفهم. هي دي الخدمة الثالثة. ما ينفعش أخدم وأبشر وأنا ما بخدمش أولادي. في بيتي وما ينفعش أبشر وأنا بخدم وأنا ما بخدمش قرايبي. That's the third level. The fourth, the cross ministry. خدمة الصليب. خدمة الصليب دي, it's another important thing. It started when she raised the child, Jesus. She tolerated everything. She was the mother of God, and she went in the darkness, traveling to Egypt in a very risky road, in the darkness, very cold weather, and she knows that she's the mother of God. دي أول حاجة في خدمة الصليب. She's the mother of God, and she was trying to find some clothes to wrap her son. He's shivering from the coldness. Imagine December, everybody feel the cold and come to the Christmas with the coats, and he feel cold. And Saint Mary was shivering, and her child, she want to wrap her child. And she knows that she's the mother of God. What we should learn from that? We learn something. That despite we know that we are servants, we should learn something, that servant has to tolerate the difficulties. Don't think because you are servant, you're going to have everything easy. God will help me. I am doing the work of God. He should help me. No, there are difficulties. Remember that Saint Mary was the mother of God, and God was in her hand, and she was suffering. So that's a learning part, teaching, very important part, that servant should learn that service is not easy. They're going to have difficulties, and that has rewards. So going now to another, there are a lot of things in the church of that, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on that, but you can think about all the steps. She was in the So she was serving the cross till the last moment, and she didn't ask for any position. Did she ask about any position? No. No. She went to the other one, which is evangelism ministry. After the Pentecost, she was praying for the Gospels, right? And now the Gospels start to preach, and they become bishops. Did she ask anybody of them, where is my post? I am the mother of God. Okay? I am the mother of God. Where is my post? You are St. Peter, James, you are the head. Why shouldn't be the head of the Gospels? I know a lot of things. I am the mother of God. Did she ask about any post? I want to be a bishop. She didn't ask about that. Did she ask? No. She was behind everybody, praying for them. And that's another service. Service of praying. She prayed. And we know already the miracle of العذراء حلة الحديد. Bityas, we know that. Bityas was entrapped in India, in Bortus, one of the countries, and she heard that he is already in prison, and she went to the prison and she wanted to talk to him. What they said? They told her, okay, no, it's closed. She prayed, and all the iron melt, everything. And she was the reason why a lot of people in this city actually became Christians. She did nothing, and she left the place. Remember, a lot of people can do a lot of service without being under the screen, without under the light. And those people will be astonished, all of us, that they will be on the top at the end. And maybe we think that we are servants, will be at the end. A person who cleaned the church and nobody knows him may be better than any person who tried to show himself in the service. I'm doing. No. Imagine that could actually reach the heaven at earlier post than you or me. Okay. Now, let's go now to the last part. The characters of St. Mary ministry. Silence. Silence, she was silent. She didn't talk a lot. Although she knows a lot, she heard a lot, but she didn't talk. Anybody of us, if he see any miracle, he will try to repeat it every day. But she didn't do that. She saw tons of miracles, but she didn't talk. She didn't speak about herself. And the most important also is praying. She was praying. In everything she was praying. You remember when she went to the wedding cane, عرس قنا الجليل, what she did? She was initiative. She found that the vine has finished, right? Anybody asked her to do something? No. She was initiative. Like, she didn't laugh or say, oh God, these people actually, they didn't prepare well for the wedding. They are not so good. No, she didn't think in this way. She thought about, how can I help these people? The initiative part. And she prayed. She went to God and told him, now the wine is finished. And she listened that he told her, woman, what does this have to be to done? My hours had not come. She didn't talk. She looked to him. What he did, okay, I'll do it. Although God was not planning to do it, she prays. So she was very humble, she was initiative, and she prays. I'm just giving you examples of how she served. Initiative, praying, humble, and everything actually happened as she wants. Even when she came to ask about Jesus one day, and they told Jesus, your mother and brother, that's in Luke 8, chapter 8. Your mother, brother are standing outside desiring to see you. So what he said, my mother and brothers are those who hear the word of God and do it. Oh, very frustrating. But she was not frustrated. She said, yes, yeah, I should do what you want. At the mother, she can say, oh, I am his mother. He is preaching all these people. He should come and show me. And no. She didn't say that. Very humble person. So she went to the end. Now, so the pray is the one important thing. The silence, initiative, and with love. You cannot serve without love. And that's the difference between the social service and the ministry. The social service, you can do it without love. In fact, that's not liked. Like if I work in my job and I do my job without love, I will be rejected. Like if a pharmacist actually work and he's in his pharmacy and he doesn't treat people with love, he will fail. If engineer work and he doesn't show the love to others, he will fail. He will fail. Even in our natural world, you have to practice as with love. And humility, we talk about it. What are the blessings of ministry? Now we enjoy the characters and we work with Saint Mary in the way she liked. Now we have to enjoy that, and we enjoy serving, allow us to discover and develop our spiritual gifts. So every day we learn. Like I cannot do that, but with God I will try it. And every day I learn something, and I found I'm doing it. Moses, when God told him to go and preach, he said, I cannot speak. I cannot. I'm an old man. But when he tried God and he worked with God, he discovered that he can do a lot of things at the age of 80. He started his service at the age of 80 and continued to 120. And he led all these congregations at the age of 80 years old. Serving allows us to experience miracles. We know that. Every time we work, we learn from God and we see miracles. And we learn, and he gave us the miracle to give us strength to continue. And it serves us to experience the joy and the peace that comes from the obedience. There is always joy when we obey God. And we get mixed with other servants, so the servants will pray for us and we pray for them. So that's important. So we know that we promote each other. الآية بتقول في عبرانيين 10 نلاحظ بعضنا بعضا للتحريض على المحبة والأعمال الحسنة. يعني احنا بنحرض بعضنا. لما انا اشتغل كده في الخدمة والاقي somebody is working, okay, he pushed me to do that. Like why he's doing that, or I try to do like him. بلاقيه بيحضر القداس بدري، طب ما اجي احضر زيه. بلاقيه بيخدم مش عارف ايه، الاقيه اخدم زيه. بغير بس غيرة حلوة علشان ابقى زيه واحسن. لقيت واحد يعني ليه خدمة جميلة جدا، احاول اشتغل معاه علشان اتعلم منه. عجبني جدا جدا لما جاء شريف، لما جاء من سنين علشان كان بيخدم ألحان، لقينا في شباب صغير بيبتدوا يبقوا معاه عشان يتعلموا منه الألحان. هو ده التحريض على الخدمة، رايت؟ هو ده اللي قاله في عبرانيين 10 نلاحظ بعضنا بعضا للتحريض على المحبة والأعمال الحسنة غير تاركين اجتماعاتنا كما نقول. ونتعلم ان كل واحد مننا ليه موهبة. Everybody had his gifts. God gave them gifts. Not necessarily you got all the gifts. I have one, and I can serve with one, and I can reach the heaven with one. So, at the end, remember, God does not just want to work through you. He wants to work in you. يبقى الخدمة مش إن أنا يشتغل معايا بس. هيشتغل جوايا. ده مهمة جدا. مش هيشتغل معايا بس ربنا أو أنا هشتغل مع ربنا بس. لا، ده هيشتغل جوايا. الحاجة الثانية, silence, pray, love, initiative, humility are the most important pillars of the service that can make our offering accepted like Abel. قايين قدم ذبيحة ما اتقبلتش. صح ولا لا؟ هابيل سوري ما اتقبلتش. هابيل قدم ذبيحة اتقبلت. قايين قدم ذبيحة ما اتقبلتش. الاثنين قدموا ذبيحة. انت عايز تخدم وتقدم الذبيحة بتاعتك وتتقبل، ولا عايز تخدم وتقدم الذبيحة بتاعتك وما تتقبلش؟ ضيعت عمري. I lost all my life. It's a waste of time, waste of effort, waste of everything. Because my offering was without love, without humility. Okay. My offers was not accepted. This is like very injurious, very harmful. You work years and years and you realize that you're far. هديكم مثل بسيط جدا. A student, he's studying geography, like all the day, like for a month he's studying geography, and you go for the exam and he discovered that it's a math exam. He studied hard geography, thinking that he would go into geography exams, and he went to the exam and he found it math. He gonna succeed or fail? Fail, right? That's all what we do when we serve without humility, without love, without praying. We are studying another subject, and we go to the exam, another exam, and we're gonna fail. This is like horrible. Imagine that. ده حالنا احنا واحنا شغالين من غير حب ولا غير تواضع ولا حاجة. Unfortunately, we waste our time. كل سنة وانتم طيبين. نتعلم من الست العذراء حاجات كتيرة جدا. أنا يعني هي حاجات كتيرة جدا نتعلم منها، بس أنا ركزت في البوينتس دي علشان أولادنا نتعلم منهم إن إحنا إزاي نخدم. مهم أوي إن إحنا نخدم. مهم أوي إن إحنا نعرف إن إحنا مش شهود في الكنيسة، لا إحنا خدام، واللي مطلوب مننا إحنا خدام. ولما نخدم إزاي، ولما هنخدم هناخد بركات قد إيه. ربنا يكون معانا ويجعلنا دايما، ويجعل كل ذبايحنا مقبولة أمامه بشفاعة القديسة العذراء والدة الإله والقديس العظيم أنبا بولا. حللنا.